Hey there, honey bunnies. Welcome to episode 102. Do you say 102 or 102? Do you say 2020 or 2020? So weird. Um, okay, so today I want to talk to you about what happens when you hit your happiness threshold, which is what I call your upper limit. And it's so funny, like that was my first money making venture online was with my art, with custom portraits and artwork and things. Then my second was I was a pet blogger. I actually um, taught a workshop at Blog Paws National Pet Blogger Conference in Nashville in 2015, I think. Anyway, that was way fun. I used to get the coolest free products and write cat product reviews and take a lot of pictures and whatnot. But my tagline when I switched to coaching was raising your happiness threshold. And I got that from being a therapist, an EMDR therapist. I specialized in trauma. And a lot of times we were doing what's called resource installation, meaning that if someone's never felt happy, truly happy, their actual physical nervous system cannot handle it. It is perceived as a threat, and it is a threat, right? If we are programmed to maintain a homeostatic state of being, which we are, anytime you change it, it just fucks shit up. It sends you on a wobble. It can knock you completely off your feet. That is what's happening when people win the lottery and then lose it all. They literally don't have the emotional and physical capacity to quantum leap past their current happiness threshold. So in EMDR, we would do EMDR process. It's eye movement desensitization reprocessing, if you want the full name of it. And it's highly successful because it does a thing but you can put happiness in, like you can do things that help people receive and hold the sensations, the physical sensations of happiness and joy and calm for longer and longer periods of time. You have to actually grow your capacity to hold happiness and success if you haven't had it, right? So if you're building a business and money starts coming in, here's what happens. This is a very predictable pattern. Money will come in and it'll go right back out the door because the car breaks, or your hot water heater explodes, or, a kid has to get braces. Something happens and the money goes right back out the door. Okay? You can't hold it. Then you work your way past that and money comes in, and it's not an emergency that happens that takes the money. You just spend the shit out of it. All of a sudden you're hitting the restaurants, you're upgrading your wardrobe, you're investing in more coaching programs and more products and things that you don't have the sustainable income to support. So, and it's all rational, right? We don't do this. I've done this 100 times. We don't do it on purpose. We don't say, hey, I got some extra money. Let's flush it down the toilet as fast as possible. In fact, let me get some cash out of the ATM and just set it on fire. Like, we're not doing we're not doing it on purpose, y'all. It's that we just can't handle it. We can't handle it. You got to know this, or you don't have to know anything, but it would be helpful to know that this is going to happen to you. This is what we talk about in Less Hustle, More Human Design. I'm not going to sales pitch you, but it is open for enrollment, and that enrollment does close November 20th. And women in there are getting tangible results, like things they've been trying to do forever and keep getting bogged down in procrastination and resistance are moving because I have a cool 24-hour business plan method that was a theory, and in testing the theory, it's getting results and it's getting them fast. And so last class, I covered happiness threshold and upper limiting and what to do and what that's about, because we don't need to beat the shit out of ourselves when we start getting successful and stuff comes in our environment and kicks our feet out from under us. You know, life yanks the rug out from under us is what it feels like. And in a sense, yes, it is you. I hate the word self-sabotage. If you've been listening to me for very long at all, you know that I can get all ranty about that, because self-sabotage makes it sound like you're deliberately hurting yourself. And that is not true. You are deliberately saving yourself. Okay? When you think of it as self-sabotage, it can lead to lots of shame. Like, why do I keep doing this to myself? Why do I keep chopping off my own left leg? Why? And it's a lot less shamey to ask, what is scaring me right now? What has me so freaked out that I'm shopping Amazon for shit I don't need at 1 o'clock in the morning? Why did I just drop $200 on a bunch of books that I don't even have time to read? Or whatever it is for you. Why did I just buy a $5,000 coaching program when all I have is $5,000? Why am I afraid? What is scaring me? Do you see the difference? If you're asking, why am I so scared that I am trying to get rid of my money as fast as possible? Which part of me is very, very nervous right now? And how can I comfort myself? How can I soothe myself? How can I grow my physical nervous system capacity to hold money in my bank and just let it sit there? Okay, so we talked about that. And I would just want to give you a few little tips, because my feeling is a lot of us that have been working our asses off for a few years here I'm experiencing, and I'm seeing other people experience, a ramping up of income. If that's you, that money's going to start coming in, and you're going to want to know, put a Post-it note up, put a note on your bathroom mirror. Hey, you're about to start making a lot of money. What are you going to do about it? In our heads, we're like, I'm going to love it. It's going to be great. I'm going to buy new clothes. I'm going to pay off my debt. I'm going to get a new printer. I'm going to hire a VA. Like, our head is like, yahoo, here comes the moolah. And your body in the deepest parts of you are like, uh-oh, here comes the moolah. Uh-oh, get ready. Shit's about to change, and all the alarm bells in your system start clanging. Whoop, whoop, here comes the money. Whoop, whoop. Everybody gets alarmed and upset. These are unconscious processes, right? So you're not aware of it. That's why when you're shopping on Amazon at 1 in the morning, spending what little money you just brought in, it makes sense in your pea brain at that time. You're like, yeah, I need these books. Yeah, these are good resources. Oh yeah, I'm going to get this and I'm going to pull this together. I'm going to make a program and blah, blah. We can rationalize this shit out of stuff. I'm the queen of rationalization. If you want a reason to do something illogical, you just let me know and I will help you rationalize it. I can find a reason that makes sense to do anything. This is not a skill to be proud of, by the way. So, what do you do? What to do when the good shit starts happening? Here's what you do. Pace yourself. Pace yourself. I cannot stress this enough. You don't need a new printer If your business isn't regularly making money, but you start making money, you just keep dealing with your old shitty printer or running down to Kinko's or whatever and getting your stuff printed until you have built yourself a foundation that's comfortable. For some people, that's $1,000 in the bank. That's all they can handle. If you are dealing with multi-generational poverty like I've been dealing, I've shared that a lot. $1,000 in the bank is comfortable. $3,000 in the bank, no kidding, like that's a small amount. I used to make more than that with a paycheck, and that didn't bother me. Although looking back, I was shoving it right out the door pretty quickly. But seeing because my numbers go up and then they go down, right? That's self-employment for you. They go up and then they go down. And so I notice when they go up and there's a certain number in savings, I can feel the anxiety of it. So whatever that amount is for you, maybe you're just trying to build up to 500, or maybe 500 feels like chump change and you're trying to build up to having 50,000, a year's worth of income or so, whatever. If your expenses are low, that might be 2 years, or if your expenses are high, it might be 6 months. I don't know you. Anyway, find the number that feels uncomfortable and let yourself feel uncomfortable. So an exercise I do with people a lot is I guide them through meditation, and you're sitting at a restaurant and somebody brings over on a platter a check. Your mind, how much can that check be that you could receive it and say, thank you very much for this check. I'm going to toddle my butt on down to the bank and cash it. Thank you. How much is the amount on the check? Initially, people will say, it's $1 million. It's $100,000. I can totally receive that. But then when you get quiet, $100,000 really? When you sit and think about it, if someone hands you a check for $100,000, it says, I love you. I love the work you do in the world. I just want to thank you. I took some of your advice and made a bunch of money with it or whatever. Or I'm a millionaire and I'm just handing out checks for the fun of it. Here's $100,000. Could you really, truly receive it? Feeling for any tension in your stomach or your throat, usually. Sometimes in your root chakra, your butt might tense up like, $100,000? I don't have to do anything for it. I don't owe anybody. You don't want me to work for you. You just want to give me $100,000. Feel into that. Your head will say, hell yeah, I'm going shopping. Right? So you have to feel your initial mental enthusiasm for getting a free $100,000, and feel into the parts of you that are like, oh no, we can't have it good. It can't be that easy. Oh no, this is money we're not used to. Let's get rid of it. We want to feel normal, right? We want to feel our regular level of chaos. We don't want to feel the calm peacefulness that can come from having safety and security financially, right? If you're used to lots of chaos and fluctuating incomes and the drama that comes with poverty, when things chill out because you've got enough money, you don't know what to do with yourself. I've been experiencing that lately and noticing it like, I have a habit of worrying about money, but I don't have to worry about money today. Now I don't know what to do with myself. Right? If your daily thought is always about, how am I going to pay this? How am I going to pay that? Where's this going to come from? What do I need to do? Blah, 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 blah. Things get real quiet real quick. If you're not aware of that, you will self-protect by getting rid of your money, by over-shopping, over-restauranting, suddenly deciding you just got to work with that coach that's at the moment outside your price range. You've got to have a new printer, and it can't be just a basic new printer. It's got to be the $1,000 new printer. You know, I know you know what I'm talking about. So, awareness comes first. You have to have that. You know what I'm going to say here. So, just get ready. You've got to have a daily practice of checking in with yourself, of a few minutes of silence, feeling into your solar plexus, in your heart, in your belly, in your root, in your feet. What's going on in there? Where is the anxiety and where's it coming from? Why do you feel a compulsion to click that buy button? One way you can train yourself is to put stuff in the cart, but don't push buy. Wait. Make yourself wait 24 hours, 72 hours. If you are emotionally defined in your human design chart, if your authority is emotional definition, you better be waiting 24 to 72 hours before you go spend a bunch of money. Or anything, before you do anything, really. Anything, of importance. You don't have to wait 24 hours to go out for lunch, as long as you know that you're not going out to, get rid of your money. When you wait, when you press the pause button, you become acutely aware, if you're listening, of all the agitation going on in your nervous system. Shortness of breath. You might feel a little headachy. You might feel a little manicky, a little hopped up, like you've had too much coffee. You might feel real anxiety, like you might even be teetering. At the extreme end, you can teeter on or over into a panic attack. Like, I'm not joking. Like, this is for real stuff. Your body can't handle a whole big chunk of money if you are an empath, if you have a delicate, not in an insulting way, like, oh, you delicate flower, but delicate in that you've got a nervous system that needs a little more time to adapt. Okay, your nervous system doesn't adapt to change rapidly. You've got to have a little more time. I'm talking to you, projectors and reflectors and emotional wave people. You've got to take it a little slower. Reflectors have to take it extra slow. So there's lots of factors at play here. The why of it for you personally doesn't matter so much as the awareness, getting the awareness of it and resting in it, sitting in it, being with it, labeling it. Oh, I have tension in my chest because there's so much money in the bank. Oh, my stomach feels tight because I have money now and my family doesn't. Or I have money now and my colleagues are not as successful as me right now and I feel bad and blah, 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 and they're going to hate me and yada, yada, and all the stuff we do to ourselves. Or my mom's going to have something to say about me making all this money, or, my dad or whoever. I'm just winging stuff off. I'm not talking about personally. My mom is not going to be unhappy when I make a bunch of money. Okay, but your mom might be, your family might be, your church group may start to get snotty if all of a sudden you're driving a better car and things are looking up for you. It's the crab in the bucket thing, right? I don't know if this is actually true, but that analogy is out there that when you put a bunch of crabs in the bucket and one of them starts to climb out, the other ones drag it back down. Makes sense, right? They're crabs. They're just clawing. So, of course, they're going to drag one back down because they're trying to climb over that one and get out of the damn bucket. But you know what I mean? Like, not only will we self-protect by getting rid of the money, if there's people around us that can't handle our success, it threatens them somehow. It's just a change, and everybody hates change. They're going to try and help you get rid of that money faster, too. Or they're going to guilt you, or they're going to do the things that they do that make sure you stay in the homeostasis of the community. The family group, the church group, the school group, the mom group, whatever the group is. You've got your internal group, all the parts of you your own internal community, then you've got your family community, and then you've got the community. And nobody likes change, right? We fight it, we resist it. We're designed to do that. And so that's okay. So you don't have to beat yourself up about it. You don't have to feel bad about it. You don't have to make it into a big thing. You're like, oh, I'm changing. And my body's nervous system is not used to this cocktail of chemicals, right? You've been drinking, the bartender in your brain has been making poverty cocktails for you all your life. All your parents' lives, all your grandparents' lives, everybody drinking the poverty cocktail. It's a little of this, it's a little of that. It's got a little dose of desperation in it. It's got some chaos in it. It's got some manic energy in it. It's got depression in it. It's got all the stuff in it. You've just been drinking that. Well, then all of a sudden, you've been making internal changes that are showing up in your external reality as cash in the bank. And the bartender in your brain is now mixing the wealth cocktail. And your brain is like, what the fuck is this? What? This isn't what I'm used to. Who? Bartender, this isn't the regular thing I order. And the bartender's like, yeah, I know, because you changed your order and now you need to be drinking, now you told me to make the wealth cocktail. So you get that and you're like, whoa, your brain is like, this is way unfamiliar. And then it spreads through your nervous system and your nerves are like, whoa, whoa. This isn't everyday normal. This isn't normal. This isn't our regular cocktail of chaos and desperation and depression. Where's all this happiness coming from? Every part of your physical body starts to freak out. And it's only because things are changing. It's so normal and so laughably predictable, like it's the funny, not funny kind of laughable. It's normal to experience distress when things change toward the positive or the negative, toward more of what you want or less of what you want. You're moving from the familiar, your familiar bad feeling place, your familiar shitty experience with the world and with life. You're changing, you're moving, and it's highly uncomfortable for your body, so you will throw that money right down the toilet. Know that you're going to do that, and then you can plan for it. Ooh, I'm going to get super uncomfortable. Maybe I need to take a chunk of this money and park it in a CD where I can't touch it, or give it to a highly trusted family member, or bury it in the backyard. Maybe I need to hold this money where I can't spend it so that I can consciously feel how irritated and aggravated my nervous system is that now the damn bartender's making the wealth cocktail. I don't even know if I like the taste of that. Is this making sense to you? It's a big deal, and I don't think we talk about it enough. There's lots of material out there about it, but I think we need to be saying it a lot to business owners who are on the cusp of making more money, and new business owners. Like, every new dollar you get, every new client you get is going to escalate and irritate and aggravate your nervous system. Get ready. Here's a way you can look at it. Let's say you're doing one of those walks for charity, which I will never do. I barely will walk for myself, or run, like a turkey trot or something. Well, if you're not a typical turkey trotter, then you know, well, on Thanksgiving Day, I'm going to have to run a 5K or whatever for no reason other than because I care about this cause. I'm running not because a bear is chasing me. So I'm going to have to train for it. So you might do a little research if you've never done it before. What exactly is a 5K? What kind of shoes should I wear? What should I be doing in August to be super comfortable running in November? Well, I might need to jog around a little bit. Practice. Your body will object to you running if you're not used to running, right? We all know this. If you've ever taken up a new exercise program, you know that your body's going to have something to say about it. Because it ain't used to you picking up weight beyond what the average week's groceries weigh. Or your toddler. Right? You start picking up weight and over again, and your body's got something to say about it. It changes the chemicals in your brain. It changes the sensations in your nerve endings. It might be painful for a while. Right? You know it. You assume that that's normal, that your feet are going to hurt when you start running if you're not used to it. You accept that. Oh yeah, I'm going to start running. It's been 10 years. I know my feet is going to hurt. Wow. Just lost all power of speech. My feet are going to hurt. My knees are going to hurt. My hips are going to ache. My muscles are going to complain. But I know from past experience that if I keep running, I'm going to eventually feel good. Or if you have no past experience, you hear from other people, yeah, just keep going. It's going to hurt in the beginning, and then you're going to actually feel good about it. Right? We just take that as normal. Oh, yeah, blah, blah. That's how it goes. It's the same with money. It's the same with love. It's the same with any new wonderful thing that makes you feel different. Your feelings impact the chemical components being produced in your brain, which impacts your nerve endings, which impacts your muscles, which impacts every cell of your dang body. You have to prepare for wealth in the same way. Money comes in the door and you shove it right back out and you know you have that pattern, then you've got to take $100, put it in your purse and not spend it. And sit with how much you want to spend it. But not let yourself spend it because you're training. You're training your physical and emotional capacity to run that turkey trot, which for you would be maybe having $5,000 in the bank that's just sitting there doing nothing. The temptation is always to spend it. An emergency comes up. What would you do if that $5,000 wasn't there? How else could you raise the money? Because you'd have to. If you blew that $5,000 on a coaching program you couldn't really afford, you'd have to find another way to make the money. So don't touch the $5,000 in the bank. Make yourself find another way. If you have this pattern and you know it. Okay? Because it'll just keep happening. You're going to spend that money and then something's going to happen and you're going to have to bust your ass and figure out how to find the money. So just go ahead and do that, but don't touch your foundation money. Leave it. Let yourself get used to it. Train yourself. Just like you would train to run a marathon. You train yourself to have money. Hold money. Not hoard money. Hold money until you feel comfortable with it. Until if the money drops below 5,000, you start to freak out because you're so used to 5,000 being in there. So that's the good part. Like there's a transition and a thing that you have to go through and you've got to build up and all the stuff. But then you'll be so used to 5,000 being in the bank that it's like nothing. Then you'll freak out when there's 10,000 in the bank or 50,000 in the bank. Right? Titrate. My very first professional job, career type job, was as an emergency medical technician. I was 18 years old. They talk a lot in EMT training about titrating dosages, doing just enough, right? You don't want to give people too much medication. You don't want to give them too much oxygen. If you give someone too much oxygen, you can make them sick. You want to titrate the dosage. Titration is a little bit, see how it goes, a little bit more, see how it goes. Turn up the volume, see how it goes, and then you stop where you hit the sweet spot. Same thing like getting in a cold swimming pool if you're not the type of personality that just jumps in the deep end and gets it over with. You're the kind that stands on the steps and kind of creeps into the swimming pool if it's cold. You get in and your feet are freezing. Then you go in up to your knees and you're like, that's cold. Then you go up to your hips. You ease your way into the cold water. Another way is frostbite cures if you live somewhere cold. I had frostbite on my little fingers. You have to you can't put your hands in warm water. You put it in cool water and it hurts. You got to put it in, take it out. Put it in, put your fingers in, take it out. Put them back in, take it out. You titrate yourself. You ease into wealth. You titrate yourself to comfort with money. The same thing applies with love. The same thing applies if you're losing weight. You make a list. What's going to happen when I have a shit ton of money? Well, my family might have some shitty comments. My cousins might be jealous. The people at church might make a snarky comment about my brand new car, especially if it's a luxury car. Somebody might have something to say about my higher quality clothing. How am I going to feel about that? Somebody might say, must be nice. Wish I had that much money. That might make you feel bad. It might make you feel sad that you used to struggle with money and now, because you know how it feels, right? You know how hard it is. You also know they ain't doing the work you did. So there's that. They might pull on you to give it to them. How are you going to deal with that? You might all of a sudden want to donate to every charity on the planet. How are you going to deal with that? You just barely saved yourself, and now you want to go save everybody else, but you don't have a comfort level with having a foundation yet. What are you going to do? How's that going to feel? You can prepare for it. Your body doesn't know the difference between $5,000 in the bank for real and an imagined $5,000 in the bank. Or whatever your number is, right? Find the number that feels like, ooh, I don't know, ooh. And it will probably be shockingly lower than what you think. It'll be a lower number than what you think you can handle. Because what you think you can handle, you can't handle. You can't handle the wealth. Right? You can't. If you could, you would have it. So, think about the number, imagine that it's in there, and then feel for anxiety and discomfort. And if you aren't feeling anxiety and discomfort, bump the number up. If you feel truly okay with receiving $5,000 and sitting and having, let's say you want to carry $5,000 in your purse all the time. Whatever you can do to reach the edge of your ability, your capacity, in your imagination, right? Now, your brain will start producing chemicals in the moment like you really do have that money in the bank. So that you can feel the discomfort, you practice, right? When they do research studies and people imagine running, your muscles are twitching and reacting and producing electricity that can be measured just by thinking about running. So think about wealthing. Think about all this money coming in. It's coming in from here. It's coming in from there. It's so easy. You're not working hard like you used to. It's flowing in like it's supposed to. You're finally seeing the evidence of everything you've been working for, and somebody says something shitty. Oh, well, don't get too happy. Well, yeah, but, well, sure, it's good now, but, the economy, the blah, blah, the yada, yada, and boom, they popped your bubble. What are you going to do? How does it feel? How are you going to handle it? What are you going to tell yourself in the moment that Aunt Mabel says something shitty about your new Jaguar? Car, not animal. You can't own a Jaguar. Please don't do that. How are you going to handle it? Practice it now. Practice now. Open up your bank account, take a screenshot. Well, the bank won't let you do that. Open up your PayPal account, take a screenshot, and then Photoshop it to a high-ass number and feel how your stomach is like, oh, God, I don't know about that. Oh, shit, that's a lot of money. Oh, hell. Okay? Do it now. Because I'm telling you, if you're working with me, you're going to make money. If you're just listening to this podcast, there's so much energy that I deliberately activate before I do a podcast. You're going to pick stuff up. Things are going to get better. Get ready. Get ready. Prepare. Know that you're going to feel uncomfortable. Know that it's going to be painful. Know that people are going to say shitty, dumb things, and it's going to pop your balloon, and you got to figure out how to blow it back up again. How to hear it and go, oh yeah, I must be doing really well if I'm hearing these comments. Yay me. I'm doing so well that other people are seeing it and feeling threatened by it. Woohoo! There's evidence that what I'm doing is working, and I'm going to keep going. And I'm happy to inspire y'all and show you how to do it, but I'm not hopping back down in that crab bucket. No thanks. Okay? This is so, it's predictable and it's fixable. You can train for money, for real. For reals, y'all. You can train for it. Train for it now. Train for getting off a discovery call and your client, and then your client saying yes, and then boom, the PayPal button pops up, or Stripe, or whatever, however you get your financial notifications. Prepare for that day you step on the scale and see the number that you haven't seen in a decade. Right? Prepare for it, because it will make you uncomfortable. You'll be like, oh God, things are changing. Look at that number. Train for the day that you open your bank account and that number's there, and you're like, oh shit, I did it. I've been working and working, and look, I did it. I accomplished it. All those happiness things come. You want to be prepared to receive them and amplify them and enjoy them, instead of them having you so terror-stricken that you have to get rid of that money, or you have to go eat 7 pizzas and make sure your weight comes back up so you can be at the homeostasis level, right? This isn't new. Okay, this is nothing that I'm saying is new. I just hope that you hear this and you will start spending some time in silence with yourself and asking yourself these questions. How do I really feel about money? How much could I have in the bank right now and feel really comfortable and easy? And then how much would have to be in the bank right now for me to get real, real nervous? And now let me train. You would spend 15 minutes or so a day training, just like you would spend 30 minutes running if you were training for a turkey trot. Turkey trot yourself right into wealth. That's a t-shirt that no one would understand, but whatever. We do what we want. All right, honey bunnies, that's all I got for you today. Got to think about a title. Talk to you next time. If you are interested in that course, it's thatmichellewolf.com/less hustle. It's open till the 20th. We start December 2nd. Yes, everything is recorded. You have lifetime access. We meet on Wednesdays. On Mondays, there's supplemental material on shame and other things that can block your success. It's human design based. It's our framework. You learn how to work with your human design type strategy and authority so that you can get on track, and then you start making money, and then we prepare you for how to handle that And then we prepare you with aftercare plans for how to keep it all going. Okay. All right. And then let's see what else is going on. Hearth and Home is open. That's 40 days of hanging out in a group in Facebook, having fun with recipes and land clearing rituals and home blessing stuff, fun stuff. That's on the website. And then the big one is From Wounded to Wise. Starts in January. It's the last round of that. So if you've been sitting on the fence about joining From Wounded to Wise, you literally are about to run out of time. So, all right, you know where it's at. You know where to find it. You know where to find me if you have questions. So we'll talk again next time. In the meantime, of course, think less, feel more. Please, for the love of waffles, go start a daily practice. If you started it and stopped it, pick it back up again and start training for your success now.